To rock and roll, just hop right into the action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Acer Teamstory Cup. Today we've got two great teams going head-to-head. As you can see here in the top right, we got Western Wolves and Invictus Gaming. But speaking of, spawning here in the lower left corner of the map, representing his team, sporting that blue color, guys, give it up for Check.
Ooh, yeah, I'll be your supporter today for the cheering going on. And yeah, like you've said, we've got two great teams going head-to-head, and two great players as well.
Well, in the upper right, his opponent, if you want to...
Oh, okay. I thought... well, in the upper right is a red opponent who is playing Protoss and goes by the name Spirit Jazz as his nickname, although his real name is... Come on, connect with me.
Oh, do you know? Jim, sorry, I thought you knew. Maybe that's what you're selling. Okay, now I'm making sense. Rifkin picking up on the awkward co-casting here in the morning. Yeah, it is Jim versus Check for the first match of the day, guys.
And we're in for a good game, for a very nice game, definitely. And it's Derelict Watcher as well. The map heavily in favor of Zerg, I could say easily.
You know what? I've been under that belief for so long. But over the past month, I've seen a lot of Protoss pushers just crush Zerg in the early game, so they don't have to worry about that mid to late game where the the creep spreads across the map and the surrounds are impossible to avoid. So I think late game, mid game even, but mostly late game, this is certainly a very nice map for Zerg. They get a lot of mobility, they can duck in and out. It's so hard for a Protoss player to engage, but a 2-gate, a 4-gate pressure, whatever you want to classify it as, those early pushes from a Protoss player can really shut a Zerg player down, and at that point, positioning is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, actually, you're very much correct. I feel like that the Naniva 4-gate build is like the strongest on this map. If the Zerg decides to go for that really fast third, I mean, obviously he's not gonna go 3 hatch before pull, but still, I do believe that the gateway expansion into 4-gate is really strong here, because you can basically kind of isolate the third base easily if you have like 2-3 sentries. You can force field the ramp and just take your rage upon the third hatchery.
Yeah, the ramps here, they are wide, but of course a couple good force fields really close those off quite quickly. Now we got a quick Nexus coming out as he was the gateway expand. We see the 2-2 on gas still going, so I'm just kind of waiting to see if he saturates them. Maybe we'll get a Stargate on the field. I mean, seems to be the popular weapon of choice versus Zerg nowadays.
Yeah, well, but I don't know. Check though is going for really fast speed, not even gonna go for a fast third, and obviously he wants to play a little bit safer, wants to get that speed as soon as possible to be able to scout better, to get better positioning if the need might arise, and also get links that are actually useful against zealots. Well, against stalkers more likely than zealots.
Yeah, I mean, speed, while it doesn't add any DPS, it allows you to get that surround off, which is so critical, because 2 links fighting something head on just never works, unless it's like a marine maybe, but that's about it. That's like the limitation.
Yeah, that's like the best they can do. And Jim does look like he is going for that 4-gate. And well,
4 gates off of 2 bases, perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, this is not an all-in at all. This is just basically a classical opening, a classical follow-up for Protoss this time.
I like that he did this. I like not only that he's going for a Stargate, I mean, it's pretty expected, quite frankly, but he put it in the front of his wall to really just show off that he has it on the field. This alone, almost like 9 times out of 10 is enough to just tell a Zerg player, you're not going Mutalisks. Because no Zerg player in the right mind sees a Stargate opener like this and builds a Spire. Maybe they will in the late game for like a tech swap or something, but certainly not early on like this.
Well, I'm kind of even thinking that maybe Jim was like, okay, I'm gonna put the Stargate in front of my, well, basically at my front door. Now, if you're gonna go scout with the links like you did, you might not click on the warping building, and you don't see it until it's fully warped. So you maybe not know what that is for the next minute or so before you see the first Phoenix, obviously. And you might think this is actually a 4-gate, but Check does know now, at least as it seems so.
Yeah, he's got his extra gases coming down, but this is nowhere near the time to get Mutalisks on the field. So even if there's that small chance Check misread this, he's not building wrong, so he's going to be perfectly fine. Third base on the way. Just a hallucinated Phoenix for the time being. Going to get as much scouting information as possible. Sees only one gas in the main. 2 jets coming at the natural. So Check's going to, or rather, sorry, Jim. Keep reading Spirit Jazz, and I want to say Spirit Jazz. But Jim is going to be perfectly fine. Hold off any early aggression. A couple links, not a problem. Photon overcharge. Force fields. He's good to go.
He has everything ready, and I don't know. Check behind this. He's gonna go for Roach Hydra, I feel. Would be the obvious, or would be the correct answer to this. Maybe with Infestors mixed up. I don't know.
If he does,
like that.
he's playing right into the metagame though, because we got the Robo facility coming down, which means, hey, what do you know? It's probably gonna be Colossus to follow suit. So, big thing is getting that fast hive if he is gonna go for the Roach Hydra, because you cannot take Colossus on with Hydros. It just doesn't work.
Without Vipers, definitely not. And even more, you need like Swarm Host to get some DPS going on and some pressure on your opponent as well. So
Jim snipes the Queen off at the third. Quite nice.
Gets a good kill there. Maybe get the second one actually.
It'll be close. That Spore Caller's in range and the other one's gonna finish up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll back up.
Retreat.
If he had 5 Phoenixes, easily kill that Queen, but sadly with just 3, it doesn't quite have the DPS necessary. But you're right on the Hydra stun call. We'll see how much he wants to devote into this. I mean, it's not like there's a better alternative. I mean, Ling and Fester, what is this, Wings of Liberty? You're kind of stuck going Hydralisk and Roaches when you see this many Phoenixes on the field, and it's just so predictable that a Robo comes down, Colossus will be on the field. So some players will actually go for Ultras as a bit of a throw, but like even then, it's like it's an oddball strategy that relies on chance to work. Nice force field, does keep the links out.
Almost, actually, the Lynx almost made it, but yeah, like you said, Jim, nicely reacting. And I would like to follow up on your statement that, like you said, that most of the players do kind of know about the Colossus incoming, so they go straight up to Ultras. And I do like Ultras, although like you said as well, they kind of throw the game if they make too many Ultras, because...
Ooh, hang on, a couple Lynx do get past that sentry. And this is going to be a bit rough. There's actually nothing here to defend. All the sentries were at the third Zealots as well. Mothership Core's not even home. A couple probes will certainly go down here. But big important thing, does Check scout the Colossus. The Robo facility does not, or Bay does not go scouted just yet.
Yeah, almost there. But we'll be a little bit more aggressive, and now should get the info out.
A Void Ray coming out as well here. Kind of interesting. Void Rays are a bit fickle and funny. I mean, they do contend well with Hydralisks en masse, but 1 or 2 versus this many Hydras, even with a Colossus.
Yeah, they kind of don't matter at that point, and it's I would rather prefer Phoenix to
more
lift up
Phoenix.
the
Yeah, like crowd control, kill. I mean, whatever the tactics are. Well, we'll have to wait and see. One more Photon Overcharge is available. These Hydras and these Links getting right up in here. No SimCity on this third base. That cannon goes down, not even cancelled, and Phoenix is going to come through the rear. They should be able to get a couple good kills here. Hydra scores very weak units. I actually kind of... Okay, he'll barely get them.
Yeah, just...
Nexus goes down, though. A little bit rough.
Yeah, and although Check will now lose his whole army, he might get a little bit more than just the Nexus here. If the Hydras do choose to... Oh, the Colossus actually getting dangerously low here.
With the Graviton beams, he should be okay. Just lift up the last couple Hydralisks without taking too much loss, but... Yeah, that really sucks for Jim. I mean, he had his Nexus down, wasn't able to connect for the Photon Overcharge, not because he wasn't trying, but the Hydras were zoning out that Mothership Core. Yeah. So as we see, it's got a ton of energy that was not able to be utilized in that attack.
And plus that, Check didn't kill just the Nexus, he killed like 4 sentries, which is a big, good pickup there. Getting rid of those sentries with full energy, I think it's always a good thing as Zerg. And also damaging the initial Colossus to kind of weaken him for the up and coming fight. It's a good good plan out of Check.
Now, we do have the Spire coming down for Check. The big question is it going to be Mutalisks or Corruptors? Chances are I'm leaning towards Corruptors. It's the quick max, make 10 of them and kill Colossus type thing to do.
I mean, if you're a Zerg and you've already we've got both
oh no, those are the take guys. Don't I got take guys? We need you.
No, don't leave. But you can't leave.
That Korean... Oh man. Korean server. Korean server, why you do this?
Why you so much lag?
But okay, so let's real talk about the Hydralisk for a second. I love
Yeah.
the Phoenix play because, as we saw, they do a lot of damage to the Hydralisks. Each Phoenix does 10 damage versus Light. They shoot twice, and Hydralisks have 80 health.
Yeah.
So one Phoenix lifts off, 4 basically one-shot the Hydralisk. And oh my god, Nino. No!
I think we can say our goodbye to Nino because he's gonna be either the players want him to...
Oh, well, now it's not Nino, it's the admin.
Oh, no, both. Oh my god.
Oh, you know, I hope it's just like a regular disconnect and not something shitty like a DDoS, because that's been happening a lot to streamers lately. But Phoenixes do have to be careful. While they are going to kill Hydralisk very quickly, Hydralisk also killed them very quickly. It's a bit of a glass cannon fight, so we see 8 Corruptors on the way. These Phoenixes going to be really important to keep alive, not for the Graviton Beams, not for killing the Hydralisk, but to help deal damage to the Corruptors. The Corruptors, of course, will try and eat the Phoenixes instead of the Colossus, unless Check goes for some Focus Fire.
Yeah, and Check will need to go for that focus fire. Corruptors mostly, I mean, they obviously will defeat the Phoenix like you've said, but they are mostly made to destroy the Colossus count.
Yeah, even if they have to suicide in to do it. And my apologies there, I don't know if you guys heard that, I accidentally knocked my mic a bit, so I hope it wasn't too loud on the stream.
I didn't hear anything, so...
I always forget, like, I'm a hands talker, you know, like those people who move their hands a lot while they talk, and like when I'm casting, I still gotta get used to this, like, arm stand I have. I keep hitting it, I'm like flailing my hands around like a fool.
I'm the same actually. When I cast or when I talk, whatever I do, I always swing around with my hands. Kind of visual representation.
A lot of roaches coming out, and while there's not a significant amount of Immortals on the field, there are a couple Void Rays which will do a lot of extra damage, but really... Yeah, well, the Colossus are going to go down. There's no way to stop this amount of Corruptors. He doesn't... I mean, Force Fields have to be perfect here. We see him trying to fight into this little bit of a choke because it's the best position for him. I like the hallucinations.
Yeah.
They might soak a couple volleys, and that might just be all he needs.
Exactly, and I would like to see maybe one more hallucination or not, if nothing else. But here comes the engagement. The Zealots are engaging the...
Oh, hallucinations are targeted first.
Yeah, the Corruptors are getting the Colossus.
I think Jim will hold this.
Yeah.
He's got enough Graviton Beams, but he's not focusing on the ground. He's shooting the Corruptors, and because of this, all the Hydras do prevail. Good game is just called, and Check will secure a quick victory for Western Wolves.
Yes, Check just take it easily, almost as it seems, with the nice Corruptor focus fire on those Colossus, and like we said, those Colossus just gonna die. I feel like that there should have been like at least 3-4 more hallucinations to maybe try and soak some damage, additional damage.
Yeah. All right, our Nightbot.